Hello everyone, my name is Marissa Brown and this is my PechaKucha PowerPoint presentation for the course Hustle Experience and Building Professional Skills. What are my goals? My goals are to graduate college and further my education to get my doctorate. Then it would be a dream come true to become a clinical psychologist. Ever since high school, I've wanted to help people through psychology, mainly because helping them through acts of hugging and stuff like that just really wasn't my strong suit. So I truly do hope to get there someday. What are my strengths? I would say one of my biggest strengths is how good of a listener I am. I'm always sure to listen to the person I'm talking to and understand what they tell me. That may sound a bit common sense, but for me it's huge. I also now know another strength is my ability to take constructive criticism and use it to make my work even better than it was before. What are my growth areas as a student? I'd say my biggest growth area is my researching ability. I feel as though it could be a lot better. Granted, I got all the information I needed. I felt it could have been a lot stronger. Another growth area is my time management. I have a good schedule, but there were times when there was just unexpected events that popped up and it really messed my schedule up. And I was behind on a lot of work, but I did bounce back, so that's good. What am I most excited about for my career? I am really excited to help people out the most. I hope that I can truly make an impact on people and give them the help they need. That is priority number one for me. I love to help people out. Another thing I'm excited for, and it's not as big as the other, I'm excited to decorate my office and make it comfortable for the people I see. Mainly because when people talk about that stuff, they need to feel safe and comfortable and know that they're not going to be judged for what they say, which I think is also important when in this career. Why am I excited? My mother has been a major inspiration to me in choosing my career path. She inspired me to help others, and I want to do it in a way that will help them long term. For those that don't know, my mother works on the Veterans Crisis Line, and she talks to people all the time, letting them know that they're not alone, and that she's always there to listen. Some of those people are in really bad situations, and she still manages to help them in a way no one else could before. That, to me, is truly inspiring, and I hope I can help people just as much as she can. So, what did I research? I researched how psychosis, a mental disorder that disturbs our perception on reality, is linked with homicide. Why did I choose this topic? Um, well, because psychosis is a part of my future career. I felt that this topic could help me better understand a serious mental illness and what can and could potentially happen to a person that has it. I also chose this topic because I love researching about anything psychology. The information behind all that stuff is very intriguing, and I love how the mind works. It's unique and different, and it's just really interesting to learn about. What were my successes? Definitely finding the perfect information to back up my question. I found loads of information that linked psychosis with homicide, and it was interesting to see what the suspect went through in the process. Another one would be putting all the information into concise paragraphs that support the topic at hand. Needless to say, I had a lot of scattered information that needed to be organized in a cohesive way that worked best for me and the paper. What were your setbacks? Some setbacks were finding solutions to the problem I discussed. It took me a while to think of ways to solve the issue and then find evidence to support the solutions. While I had success in organizing my information, there were also times I was truly lost in that process. I sometimes struggled with how to make it fit and where it could use certain information. In the end, I did find a way to make it all work. What did you find most enjoyable and why? The most enjoyable part for me was reading over the cases and trials. I found it interesting to be reading over what happened in the trial and what the suspect was going through. It was like I was there, seeing into the trial itself and watching it all go down. What is my research question? Well, how is psychosis linked with homicidal tendencies? What did I learn from my research? I learned that in some cases, patients heard voices telling them to commit the murder. In one specific case, the man heard a voice telling him to strangle his wife and even kill her. Another thing I learned from my research, I learned that in some of these cases, the patients weren't being seen for their condition anymore. The doctors said that their symptoms were in remission and therefore they didn't need to be seen anymore. In which case, their symptoms came back and they didn't go see the doctor and they ended up committing an awful crime. Finally, I learned that not every murder case is based off an illness. Before the research I did, I thought that every murder case was the cause of someone who had a mental illness. After the research, I can see that only some cases are due to mental illness, mostly because of the lack in abundance of the cases I was looking for. What is my recommendation? My recommendation would be to up the in-person doctor visits because it'll be less likely to see the patient harm others, especially if they have psychosis. What can I use in future courses after this? Well, I can use the researching skills I've developed through this course and develop them even more throughout other courses I take. I can also use the feedback skills I learned earlier, such as how to take the feedback and use it to make my future projects or papers even better than I had originally. What can I take into my future career? In my future career, I will need to research certain things and ask others for their insight on a problem I'm struggling to figure out. In this course, I've learned both and can only develop them even more. I've learned how to research information and produce an organized product. I've also gained feedback on something I was working on and used that to help me fix it and make it better. Has anything changed my goals? I'd say my goals have remained the same throughout this course. If anything, this course made my goals stand out and become even more important to me than they were before. Has anything changed my strengths? After this course and all the projects, yes, my strengths have changed. Before the course, my researching skills weren't as strong as they are now, and my revision skills are stronger now too. I have more skills that I can utilize later to make my work the best it can be. Has anything changed my growth areas? Yes. While my researching skills are stronger than before, they can still use some work. There is also room for more growth when learning new things. In my case, I still have room to grow and develop my strengths even more. I feel I know the basics to research, but in order to make them stronger, I need to be able to find stronger information. Then there's my time management skills. Though they are good, there is still room to adapt and develop them as well. Thank you for listening, and have a great day.